Hello friends, welcome to another episode of OpenSUSE or SUSE High Availability Cluster, that is PaceMaker, and today's topic is cluster implementation requirements. So before start with that tutorial, let me welcome you to my YouTube channel Trishtech Institute, and if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to it and like, share the videos with your friends and colleagues. So let's start with the tutorial. So this is a lengthy tutorial series. So what I have done, I have made it into 7 parts. So each part is like overview first, that is a overview of HA implementation process, then collecting the required parameters, then determine the expectation for the HA cluster from the customer, and then planning the storage. Then you will see the difference between 2 node and 2 plus n node clusters, and then we will be doing the design, uh, testing, and design the test cases, and then at the end we will be doing the testing and documentation. So total uh, 7 parts are there in this tutorial series, and I will be covering each part in one new video to make it smaller. So start with the first part, that's the overview of HA implementation process. So while in this thing you have to take care of few basic tasks. So first thing is like you have to determine the requirements of what customer wants from the implementation. So that first thing you need to get it into noted down. Then you have to determine the expectation, like what is the expectation from customer, like okay, that application should be available all the time, load should be distributed, all those things you have to determine. Then you have to plan the networking accordingly, like which section this cluster will be there, and for application what will the network, for other internal connectivity what is the network. So that network planning you have to do. And one more thing you need to remember, in network planning you have to take care about the redundancy also, not only the layout but redundancy also. Then you have to plan the storage, whether you need a shared storage, non-shared storage, all those things you have to plan. Then you have to obviously design the test cases, like how many type of failures can happen and how your cluster will withstand those failures. So that also you have to design and document. Then you have to perform the testing to see whether your cluster is working fine in those test cases, and you have to document also those things to uh, submit as a proof to the customer, like all your requirements are met from this implementation. And you have to obviously create a documentation, and please remember, in the documentation it should be detailed information about the cluster. It should have all the artifacts and proof for future reference. So sometimes what happens, you implement the cluster, you test it and it works properly, then you hand it over to your operations team, and then they come back to you and say, no, this is not working, that is not working, this was not tested, that is not tested. So it will be a big drama. So in that case, better to document everything. You have all the artifacts, proof with timestamp, so that if they come back also, you can show them, see, this is what implemented, agreed, and this is the proof. And then you go and deploy it to production, because before deploying production you have to do a POC and do all those before things like testing and all those things. And you do again testing on the production system, like do failover test and all those test scenarios, so that your to confirm like your production is working as per the expectation. And once that is done, you have to hand over the production system to your business and operation, and have the proper sign off with all the documents, so that you can get release of the upcoming future issues and all those things, so that your customer or operations team can handle it in by themselves. Then you have to gather few parameters, like local node configuration, what will be the local node, like how much RAM, CPU, all those things, disk size. Then shared storage system, whether you need a shared storage, or most of the cluster require a shared storage, but that is not like a mandatory requirement. Some cases cluster don't need shared storage, like you go for HA proxy, DNS or DHCP cluster, or you go for SAP HANA database, so there you don't need a shared storage. And you have to have cluster configurations like time mode values and all those things, how many times it will retry, those kind of parameters also you have to gather. And you have to gather information about the cluster resources, what all resources you need to create and what will be their interrelationship or order, all those things. Then you have to get a information about your application this cluster will host and how to host that application, like cluster, those application configuration files, startup script, all those parameters you have to gather for the implementation. Now how you can build a HA cluster, this is like overview. We will again see this thing in details with lab so that you get a better picture. So for doing that, first thing you have to do, install your OS. Obviously we will be using either SUSE 15.1 or 2 or OpenSUSE Leaf 15.1 or 15.2 for all the nodes, and obviously you have to patch them to the latest updates. So all the latest updates should be applied. Then you have to configure the first node. For this you can use the HA bootstrap scripts to configure the first node. Then once your first node is done and your cluster is created, you distribute that configuration to your other nodes, or in other words you say like you add new nodes to the cluster to make it like 2 node 3 node cluster like that. And then you do basic cluster functionality test, and also you need to document all the configurations, design aspects and everything to your LLD, and also you have to document your test cases which is approved by your customer. And then you have to add the resource and application as per the LLD and the defined configurations. And then you have to test the system and capture the evidences and put them into a documentation, proper documentation for future reference. So that's all for today's session. In our next part we'll be discussing about collecting the required parameters. So thank you for watching this video. We will see you in our next video. Have a good day.